Next game is the Lions and the Bucks. The Lions took this one 20-6. The Lions are putting together a really impressive season up to this point. Jared Goff is 30 of 44 for 353 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. He's absolutely someone worth playing every single week if you're desperate at quarterback. If you have Kirk Cousins, someone like that has been underperforming, Trevor Lawrence, Jared Goff is a really solid option for you. I think they're all kind of in that same mix together, but it seems like Jared Goff is pushing himself ahead of those two guys here recently. So watch out for Jared Goff. I think he's a solid add if he's on your wire. Craig Reynolds, 10 carries for 15 yards. The rushing offense just didn't really get anything going here. David Montgomery went out with an injury. He had 6 carries for 14 yards before he did that. Divine Ozigbo had 3 carries for 5. Khalif Raymond had a carry for 3. And Jared Goff had 2 carries for 3. If David Montgomery misses time, Craig Reynolds is going to be a really popular add. I think that's a really solid option. It's going to be interesting to see if Jahmyr Gibbs comes back next week because he almost played this week, but he just keeps missing time. So there are definitely worse ads you can make than Craig Reynolds moving forward. And Amon-Ra St. Brown had a monster day. 12 catches, 124 yards, a touchdown, 15 targets. He is somebody you want to play regardless of matchup. Play him every single week. Easy money if you have Amon-Ra St. Brown on your team. And Jameson Williams showing some of that explosion that he hasn't shown in the past. 2 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown. He is going to be a popular ad as well. I think that's absolutely worth an ad. You don't want to play him next week, but a really good stash to have on your bench. And Josh Reynolds, I think he's a safe drop. 3 catches for 50 yards for him. Sam LaPorta had 11 targets, but only the 4 catches for 36 yards. If people are down on Sam LaPorta because of this poor performance, absolutely trade for him because the 11 targets is just not something you see for tight ends very often. And LaPorta has been a tremendous producer so far this season. So definitely trade for Sam LaPorta if people who have him on their team are doubting him right now. Craig Reynolds, 2 catches for 28 yards for him. Khalif Raymond, 3 catches for 23. David Montgomery, before he went down, had a catch for 19. Divine Ozigbo had a catch for 8. Brock Wright, the tight end, had a catch for 7. And Marvin Jones also had a catch for 5. For the Bucks, Baker Mayfield was 19 of 37, 206 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. He is another person in that Jimmy Garoppolo tier. I would not add Baker Mayfield, even though this was a tough matchup for him. Somebody you want to play the matchups with. Rachaad White, 7 carries, 26 yards. He can't really get anything going, but neither can Keyshawn Vaughn. 6 carries for 9 yards. He's going to keep getting volume, but he's not going to do much with it. So if you could trade Rachaad White, I would highly recommend doing that because this lack of efficiency is going to be annoying the entire year. Baker Mayfield had 2 carries for 6, and Devin Tompkins had a carry for 5. Chris Godwin had a great day. 6 catches, 77 yards on 7 targets. He's creeping back into fantasy relevancy. He struggled to start the year, but now he's putting together some games here. So definitely look out for Chris Godwin as somebody you want to start week to week. But there are going to be better options, but he's definitely staking his claim here lately. Mike Evans, somewhat disappointing, but the 10 targets is nice. 4 catches for 49 yards for him. Trey Palmer, just the 2 catches for 47 on 7 targets. Really interesting to see the 7 targets with him. He is only really going to have value if Mike Evans goes down, though, because he's that traditional outside receiver. Cade Otton, just the 1 catch for 15 yards. Rachaad White, 3 catches for 12. This is where he can add a little bit of value, but I think it's just value for us to trade him. Payne Durham had a catch for 8. Keyshawn Vaughn did not haul in either of his targets. And Devin Tompkins, 4 targets, 2 catches, -2 yards there.